Hi guys, so recently I've stumbled upon this YouTuber called Justpearlythings, and she's made a video called Modern Women Marry a Lifestyle. Now, I thought that I'd make a video because we all know that I've been interested in gender politics, and she seems to be very strong in that. She seems to be a little bit of a pick-me girl and a little bit of a men's rights, like a little bit, from what I can tell from my 2 seconds of research. So I thought that I would respond to this video. I haven't watched it yet, and I figured I'd have a little look-see, have a little gander at her video, and go from there.
Even if you start making a lot of money, I think it is really important not to up your lifestyle too much. Now, why do I say this? I grew up with money, right? My dad is a top 1% earner. I had 9 siblings. My parents...
Just to clarify, I'm assuming that she is talking about don't live outside of the bounds of your means.
I'm a software company. And growing up, we had a nice house, but our lifestyle was never crazy. We wore hand-me-downs. We barely ever ate out. On trips, we never flew. We always drove. And why do I think this was important? Because we go off in the world, and if you get too used to a certain lifestyle, if the world goes south, you're gonna feel like you have to maintain it. And it's why, even when I've, done well, the YouTube stuff has taken off, you're never really gonna catch me spending a lot of crazy money on clothes, heavy makeup, hair, because at the end of the day, none of that stuff really matters. And
I mean, I feel like that stuff does matter if it makes people feel good about themselves. There's nothing wrong with wearing makeup or having good hair or wearing nice clothing, expressing yourself through your fashion. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that people need to realize that it's fine to spend their money, but you should live within your means. Like, I don't understand why she would think that it's not important to people, because people like to feel good, and sometimes even like in my industry, when I am looking after clients, when they walk in that door and they feel like they look like trash, not saying that they do, but when they feel like they look like trash, they get their hair done and they have this beautiful service, right? They get a scalp massage, they get this experience. And although in this girl's eyes, it doesn't matter, to those people, it makes them feel confident. It makes them feel better about themselves, and a lot of the time it makes them feel happy. There was this beautiful, beautiful girl who came into our salon today. She hasn't had her hair colored in years, and she got this beautiful red color. I ended up styling her hair and just straightening it and just doing something nice with the front of her hair. And she, like, you could see from when she walked into the salon to when she left, she felt completely different. She felt happier, she was brighter, she was bouncing, she was like playing with her hair and giggling. Like, this stuff is important to people, and to disregard that, like, as vain as like you might think these people are, to disregard that hair, makeup, clothing and all that is important to these people, like, that's just kind of fucked up. I know that we live in a society with huge beauty standards, but I think that it's okay for people to express themselves and be happy with treating their bodies and their hair and their homes and everything as an artistic experience because they feel better about themselves, and I think that that's fine.
Especially women, like, we will spend so much money on makeup, on hair, Botox, all that shit. And my question is, when you have children and a family, how are you going to maintain that? You know, most women are average women, right? And so most women can't afford to be spending $2-3 grand a month.
Again, most women aren't doing that. Most women aren't doing Botox. Most women aren't spending $2 to $3 grand a month on their beauty. Like, that's completely unrealistic.
And you guys are putting yourself in debt for what? When you could be saving the money and it could be going towards your family someday. But instead, it goes towards yourself. And now, what does this symbolize in the culture?
A lot of people don't necessarily want to start a family. Like, that's the thing. There are people who do want to start families, but there are certainly a lot of people who don't as well. And I feel like that this completely disregards the fact of the nuclear family, the fact that the nuclear family has become outdated, and a lot of people are steering away from that. She's completely disregarding that fact and just putting her values out there as her opinion, which is completely fine. She can have her opinion, but I can also have mine and disagree with her.
Culture. What does this show? It shows that we have a culture that thinks about ourselves before the family. It shows we have a culture that thinks about, like, me first. And I had this conversation in Miami where they're asking how much a guy has to give you a month to not work. And I'm thinking, food, shelter, clothes are paid for. What does he have to give you extra money for? These girls are telling me they need $2,000 to maintain them. What does that mean?
So she really is a pick-me girl, isn't she? Most girls don't need $2,000 a month to maintain themselves. Like, for instance, I hardly ever wear foundation. When I do wear foundation, it's usually only because my eye makeup, I couldn't get it off properly the night before, or I was too tired, which is really bad. Don't sleep in your makeup, guys. But I hardly ever wear foundation. What I do is I contour my face using fake tan instead. And so a bottle of fake tan lasts me forever, right? And I literally just put that on, go to sleep, and I do that once a week, maybe? And I'm pretty dandy with that. So just as an example, like, not everybody does that stuff. Not everybody goes out and gets Botox. I know a few people who get Botox, don't get me wrong, but that's the industry that I work in, the hair and beauty industry. But there are a lot of people who don't get Botox. There's a lot of people who won't touch Botox. I won't touch Botox, for instance. But yeah, I'm just saying it's not as common as what you're trying to claim. There are people who also have partners who sort of pressure them into having beauty standards that are like that, but that's not what I'm supporting. I think that if people want to do that stuff, it should be perfectly fine as long as they want to, because it's their body, it's their choice. As cringy as that sounds, me saying that.
And when I said I didn't need that, they say to shoot higher. And I don't know what delusional world we live in, but, like, ladies, most of us are average. Most of us, if you want to be married, will likely have to date an average guy. So if your lifestyle is too expensive, you're going to feel like you need to maintain that.
But you're talking about a few specific girls, right? And you're putting that opinion into context where you're relating it to the mass population, but then you're saying most people are not like that at the same time, which is a counter argument to yourself, I guess. But like, you're implying that women need to have that amount of money, but realistically, what you're saying isn't accurate at all. It's a complete and utter lie.
And you get married. And a lot of you, it's not in the cards for. So you really just have to think, like, what is the trade-off you want in life? You know, would you go down in lifestyle for a family? And unfortunately, the answer for a lot of women is no. And that's why we see 50% of women being single, childless. Because no guy will measure up because they're so used to a crazy lifestyle. When really you should be okay with the guy making 40 to 60K a year. But let me know.
The thing is that she's implying that a lot of people fall into the category that she's talking about. She's implying that most people do, whilst also implying that most people don't. And it's kind of counterintuitive. I understand that she's saying that she feels that people should live within their means. These women who are spending too much and getting themselves in debt to look good is stupid. I get that point. But she's grouping a lot of people up together when she shouldn't be. It's disingenuous.
What you guys think in the comments? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe.
Is that a hickey on her neck? That was, wasn't it? So I guess that is that. I disagree with some things. I agree with some things, but like, I don't think she's genuine. I really do feel like that she's a pick-me. I'm so different. Look at me and how different I am. And I think that that's kind of stupid. I feel like maybe her and I would be able to have a good conversation, but I feel like that she's a little bit scary, and I guess that's that. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to press the like button, feel free to press the bell, and feel free to share it to your mum, because we want your mum to know that she can get her hair done, she can make herself look pretty, and it's Mother's Day tomorrow, so I think that that's a great thing for you to share. Bye!